What up, guys? Welcome to another video by your boy. Today we're gonna be doing a tier list for female characters, right? It's very different from the tournament that I did for the best waifu. That's different. Even though this seems like kind of unoriginal, I thought this would be a fun video idea. So yeah, here we are. Um, so yeah, we're gonna be ranking a lot of female characters. You can call them waifus if you want or not. I'm just ranking them based on their appeal as a female character. So yeah, any characters that I don't know or I forget the name of during this video, please forgive me. I do watch a lot of anime, but I do forget a lot of names. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and let's jump right into the video. Alright, what's up, guys? We're gonna be ranking them, like I said at the beginning of the episode. Just to start off with, we're gonna start off with this girl. I don't know who she is. We're putting her and haven't seen / don't know. We have a standard ranking, as you guys can see, S, A, all the way to F. Not touching, meaning, we are ranking them by character, not by waifu level, as you understand. Just the female character. So yeah, just so you know, this is from. She's B. I know who she is. She's from, like, I think Shakugona S, or like so it starts. The series starts with an S. I remember her name is literally the name of the series. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember her character. She's very serious, brash. She basically, her meeting the male protagonist was great. So yeah, she's a solid B of a character. We have Blue Exorcist Mentor. Honestly, straight up A. She's one of my favorite characters from Blue Exorcist, despite not having a big impact in the whole story. She's Rin's teacher, on top of being the student of Rin's grandfather, or father in this case, because Rin called him father. Her design is fantastic. She's very funny in the scene she's in, but also very serious and badass. I like her. She's great. Cool design too. We have CC from Code Geass. S tier. CC is great. Well written. Honestly, great foil and like great relationship with Lelouch. Lelouch wouldn't be Lelouch without CC, and CC wouldn't be CC without Lelouch. Honestly, great. Great. We have the girl from Spice and Wolf. Fantastic written character. She's basically the main character of the series, besides the male protagonist that's there. Her story is fascinating. She's really well written in terms of like how she starts to learn about humanity, and a lot of like the knowledge we get about merchants, being a merchant, comes from her. Honestly, great series. Great female protagonist, honestly. We have the character from the series that's, I think, in the same universe as Sword Art Online. If I remember correctly, she's a great character, just like her. She's not. Besides helping the main protagonist, who's like this very chubby kid, grow out of his shell and become more fearless, grow his wings, as she says. She herself has a little growth in terms of like falling in love with the protagonist, but I don't remember her character growth being huge. But she is well written for the story that she's in. She's basically written as the main love interest. Maka from Soul Eater, guys. S. Best written character in Soul Eater. Best female protagonist next to male protagonist of Soul. Honestly, Maka's great. She's very tough, gritty. Her growth with becoming a little bit more trusting of Soul, and I guess less high strung, so that she and Soul can resonate better, and seeing their relationship grow was one of the highlights of the series. Maka is a great female protagonist. Honestly, if you were to give people a list of well-written female protagonists, Maka would be there. Then we have Mika from Death Note. Sad to say this, she's a C, for the simple fact that besides being used by Light as a pawn and a tool, and she's I guess she's just eye candy for the series. Beyond that, she had her own cool little arc, right? But she wasn't in the series for that long before Light just threw her out to the wolves. It was really freaking sad. Honestly, we'll give Mika a I'll give Mika a B for that. She did have a lot of development to her character, a little bit. She becomes more assertive, but she was used by Light. Well, I'll give her C to be safe. This is the Elfin lead, I think, character. Not touching her. She's scary. Not touching essentially any character that I don't really want to talk about. Or that would be problematic to talk about on YouTube. We have Akame. Akame's character, honestly, I'd say she's a standard C tier character, Akame. Despite being the main character of the series, she's very. Nah, B tier. Let's give her B tier. She does grow as a leader, but she also comes to realize that she needed to help the people more in her life. We have Esdeath. Simple fact that Esdeath is a yandere, and honestly my favorite character in that whole godforsaken series. She goes in the A. Leone. Leone is great. She's fun. She's funny. Her death crushed the hell out of me, man. I cried when Leone died. She's my second favorite character behind Esdeath. Mine, or mine, she was good. She's in the same level as Akame, really solid. She's a good tsundere. Her romance with Tatsumi was good, but honestly, thinking that Akame's name was in the title, I honestly thought that the male protagonist would end up with Akame, but that was not the case. So, now we have two characters from Avatar. We have Korra. Korra's going D tier because of how her character is written. She's a great Avatar. Her character arc would honestly be much better if they had her learn to be less brash as she was and less prideful and kind of egocentric at times. That's kind of what killed her character for me. That's why she's D. She's the worst Avatar, considering she's the one that ruined the reputation of the Avatar. Yeah. Korra's great. It would be great if it was like, if like they gave her the growth she needed. But I honestly, watching that whole series, felt like she didn't grow at all. Toph, she's my favorite character in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Great, perfectly written, funny, great fighter. She essentially grows to be less cold to people and be more caring and be more friendly. Great character. Rangiku, she's going an S. My favorite Bleach character. Her story and her character like path throughout the whole series is kind of sad. Because like at first glance you think she's like this very seductive lady, right? Who likes to I guess play on that, right? Not that she is that, but she likes to play and mess with and like tease people. But behind all of that is a very sad lady whose childhood love, how do I say this, is like slipping away from her. It's like her story is all about unrequited and sort of lost love, despite that the person she loves, being the Squad 3 captain, loving her back. It was just wasn't meant to be. Now Liel, great comedic relief character for the Arrancar, not the Arrancar, the Hueco Mundo arc. She was a badass. She was funny. She definitely helped Ichigo and Orihime grow too, with her being there. Honestly, fantastic. She should have helped Ichigo grow throughout his time in Hueco Mundo. Orihime, really well written. She's the one that ends up with Ichigo. I'm surprised people were surprised by that or hate it. And people are saying he should have ended up with Rukia. No, he shouldn't have. Rukia was always the sister character, the older sister character, never the love interest. Orihime was really well written in the sense that she was written to be the passive support. She was basically like the Ichigo went from not being afraid to bring her in because he didn't want to lose her to trusting her in the final battle. So really well written. Orihime basically is Ichigo's mom in a sense. She's like a reminder to Ichigo of his mom. Not to be weird. At least I see her that way. This girl's from the Fullbringer arc. She's good, just like Mika. Good tsundere. She played a role well in that arc. But she's besides that, she's not. We don't get to see her again until Thousand Year Blood War. So Rukia, A tier. I like Rukia, but a little less than I do Orihime and Rankiku. She's also really well written too. I think Kubo does a great job at writing female characters, despite them not being like the male protagonist. He gives them a lot of depth. He gives these women a lot of depth to who they are and what made them them, and actually dives in deep into them quite a bit too. Soifone. She's a great character, but her obsession with Yoruichi is what drops her to D for me. I think it's really weird that she's hyper obsessed with Yoruichi like that. It's kind of creepy, a little bit, because you can tell Yoruichi knows, but like is uncomfortable. I want to say uncomfortable. She's just, I don't know. Soifone is great. Maybe she should tone down a little bit her obsessiveness with Yoruichi. It seems like it's a lot more than just loving her as a sister. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Now touching Yachiru, great. No, Yachiru's a good character, honestly. Pretty funny. Doesn't do much besides being Kenpachi's foil. Or Kenpachi's companion, and being the comedic relief to Kenpachi's seriousness. Yoruichi, same tier as same tier as Orihime and Rangiku. Badass, well written female character, honestly. And Ichigo's mentor. Girl from Charlotte, she's getting a C. The ending was kind of sad. She was funny at the beginning of the series, and then the way they crushed her. She still ends up with the male protagonist, but I don't know. The ending really made me cry a bit. So, we're giving her a C. I don't remember her from Charlotte. Now we have the characters from Bunny Girl Senpai. Glasses. The Glasses best friend gets an A. Really great. The series likes to use her as the way of explaining the phenomena of like the thing that happens in the series, and she does a good job at being that character. On top of like they wrote her vulnerabilities really well. Honestly, she had a lot of depth to her. Sakuta's younger sister, she's in the same level as Yachiru. She plays the little sister role well. Beyond that, she's beyond her being like the main thing for the series end. She didn't have much, like, I wouldn't say her character had a very big impact. My Sakurajima, great. Basically, the reason why Sakuta, she brought him out of the shell. He's able to be himself around her. He loves this woman to death. Honestly, who wouldn't, bro? She's the perfect. She's perfect. The Kohai from the same series, solid B, just like the sister. No, solid B. A bit. She did a good job at redeeming Sakuta in front of the whole class because he had a little bit of a reputation. She was a big factor in helping him, so she did her character role really well. She plays the lovable Kohai fantastic. She even becomes friends with him too. So on to the Dragon Ball characters. Android 18. Best, bro. Best girl. Honestly, best girl. But in terms like because we are considering writing, I'd give her a solid A. Her growth from being a death robot to being a mom and more human than honestly she expected is fantastic. Two, it's a shame that the series didn't use her as much later on. They do use her a little bit more, but I feel like they could have gotten more in depth. But she's an A. She's a great character. Dragon Ball isn't Dragon Ball without Bulma. S tier female character. She's really well written. She's basically Goku's door and info broker or like book to the real world and society. She's basically the reason why Goku was able to assimilate into society really well. She plays the straight man to Goku's like craziness essentially. For a lot of Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball. Chi Chi, honestly, a B tier, great mother, but in the early series, she did have a little bit more impact with Goku, and her love with Goku was fantastic. It's a shame that they turned her character into an overbearing mom that worries too much. That's pretty much what she is the rest of the series. But because she was well written up until that point, and I'd give her a B. She's pretty popular among the fan base too. Han, same rank as her grandma. Great, she's a great character in GT, but I wouldn't. I feel like you can have GT's story didn't focus on her as much as they should have. Let's just say they did, but I don't know. I felt like they could have gotten more in depth. Let's just say that. Straight up F tier character writing. She's overbearing in Darling in the Franxx, bro. They make her so hateable. I get that she's jealous of Zero Two, I think her name is. I think I guess she's jealous of her. I get it. They could have gone about it a bit better. They could have had her become uh better quicker and learn from it a bit, but she was really overbearing. Zero Two, besides being like fan service, she was pretty bland character. She goes in the uh same category as Mika. It's a shame, bro. Darling in the Franxx, a, a lot of people entered it having one story, being annoyed, and then the story pivoting to something else later on, and it just did not hit well. So yeah. The Clannad girls, I know Clannad, I just haven't seen the story to be able to rank them for you guys. So, character wise, at least. Um, I'm not touching. I don't know how to rank her. She's an adorable little sister, I guess. See, adorable little sister character. That's it. Lukoa, same thing. She would have been higher, but the Shota thing is weird. And okay, being the main character, and the thing that focuses on her, she's well written, and her relationship with the lady that she's the maid to is pretty wholesome. We are moving on to High School DxD. Heck yeah. Any other High School DxD characters? No. Okay. Konako B. uh, she has good character growth. She's funny, and her beating up on Issei for being a perv will never not be funny. Um, she's a good comedy relief character, and the moments of vulnerability she has are great, really well written and addressed good. Rias, honestly, one of my favorite characters in High School DxD. Perfect representation of a strong woman, and still being able to show vulnerable, like lady, uh, vulnerabilities that being like the damsel in distress type of thing. I guess is the best way I can explain it. Zeno did Zeno Zenobia didn't have that big of an impact in the series at all. She has a couple funny moments with Issei being pervy, but she becomes background character pretty quick. Akeno, I'd say she's up there and with uh my favorite character, like tied with my favorite character with Rias. They're both my favorite characters in the whole female favorite characters in the whole series. Really well written. Yeah, great rivals too for Issei's attention. We have the Sword Princess. See, bro. I'm being honest. Besides being Belle's motivation for a big portion of the series, she disappears. I think after season 2, and they don't like. At least from him, like they stop focusing on her and her relationship with Belle. It just stays mentor and mentoree, and that's what it stays at. It doesn't grow. There's no growth between them. She doesn't grow. She's still the same stagnant, emotionless character because she already went on her character arc. If you watch the or Orario series or whatever, Estia arguably better written than the Sword Princess, and honestly, I think is the true has a stronger chance of being the love interest than her. But I don't know. I think she's just better written than her for now. Very expressive. Besides her being overbearing, kind of why she's in the same rank as Chi Chi. She's great. Okay, both of these girls are gonna go in A. Really well written. Uh, she's gonna go in B. All well written. I'm gonna say this once. I think Evangelion is a really well written story. Me personally, I don't have it ranked S on any or S in a lot of my stuff because let's just say Shinji's dad kind of ruined it for me. A big those who've watched the series and know what Shinji does to these girls, Shinji's dad like does to Shinji and these girls that he gets close to. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. All right, now we have. I'm sorry if I didn't have that big of an explanation. I just think these two are A. She's B. Nah, I don't have much to go. Or much to say, not to go. Much to say off of that. More than that. Urza, same reason as Rias, perfectly one of the best written female characters in anime fiction in general. Great. Willing to show vulnerability, like I said before, but she's also really strong and can whoop ass. A lot of the time she whoops ass, but she's also not afraid to how do I say this? Be not weak, be vulnerable. A vulnerable that a lot of ladies have, right? And men too. But basically they didn't cut her femininity to make her a man or what like a man hating person or whatever. She's strong, can easily beat up men. The series shows you that. But she's also not afraid to be vulnerable. And that's what I love about Urza. She's really well written character. Juvia. My Juvia is an A. Also really well written. Her relationship with Gray gets closer. her sort of becoming the clingy girlfriend doesn't outgrow that, but she does start to pull back a little bit with Gray, a little bit, not too much. She's still a clingy girlfriend, but she's good. Straight up C. She's funny and she's a good character for knowledge, but beyond what she was used for in the series, she's not D. She's not trash. She's just nothing special. Lucy, same reasons as Urza, except in reverse. She goes from rich, very feminine girl to strong woman. But again, does not sacrifice her vulnerability. Again, you can write strong female characters without making them men. Is what I'm trying to say. If that makes sense, without taking away what makes them them. Essentially, they're both really well written. I love them. Mira Jane, same tier as Juvia, pretty good. Wendy, great little sister character. She's just gonna go in the same tier as, I think her name is Lex, something like that. Lexi? No, not Lexi. It's something like I totally forgot her name, but yeah, Wendy is gonna go in the same tier. Great little sister character. She doesn't do much beyond that, I think. I mean, she does grow a bit, well, as a character. So I'll bump her up one. Yeah, she does. She does have some growth. She becomes more confident in herself and less meek and nervous like she was when she was first introduced. The Edward Elric and Alphonse Elric's mom slash teacher, a badass woman, willing to sacrifice herself for those kids. She loves them like a mom. Really, really, really great example of a strong woman like Urza. And Lucy, she's strong the majority of the series, but she's also not afraid to cry, and show vulnerability. Like a lot of the characters in Full Metal Alchemist, honestly. I think we saw every character cry in that series. Again, they're written well because they don't confuse strength. They don't confuse being vulnerable as weakness, or being able to open up about your feelings as weakness. Essentially, that goes for both male and female characters. We have Lady Armstrong, sister to Major Armstrong. But she's a C, bro. She's fun. She's great. She's badass. But that's pretty much all she was. Same thing with Lieutenant Hawk, I think. She had a bit more impact on the story, character wise, because of Roy Mustang. But yeah. So she's going up to B. Winry, S. Best example. Best example of really well written character, just like these other girls up here. Both Rin, I think that's her name, Rin, and Saber. Both A tier. Those two are really fucking great characters in the Fate Stay series, and their growth is immaculate. Also, I like how he can end up with either one of them. They're both love interests. It's great, depending on the path. We have Nina from Quintessential Quintuplets. She's A. Really well written character. We have the studious sister. I forgot her name. She's B. She had good moments, but not as many as Nina, Miku. Miku, Nina. I forgot her name. Nino, something like that. I don't know. These three right here in Quintessential Quintuplets were my favorite characters. Miku being my absolute favorite and like the one that I wanted to win. These three were the most popular from what I saw when I was watching it that people thought would win. No, they did not. Yotsuba, I think her name is Yotsuba. One. She's B, about the same as her other sister. Uh, she didn't have as much screen time as the other three, which is, I think, what kind of made her being the victor out of the blue. And I'm not the only one that felt that way about it. That felt like it just felt like it came out of nowhere when she won. Like there wasn't any build up to it or any reveal or any clues that the author. I'm sure there was, but I don't think the author did a good job of showing it because I'm not the only one that felt the way that way about her winning. I don't think she's a bad character, and I don't think she's not cute. I just think that if you were gonna have her win, you could have given us a flashback with indications that she was the one. Maybe he did. I don't know. I gotta go back and watch. But honestly, from what I remember, didn't have as much. Had about the same amount of screen time as her sister over here. Maybe she goes above because she had a bit more. But yeah. How do me characters don't remember? Elf girl from Goblin Slayer goes to B. Great character. He's fun. Big reason why Goblin Slayer is able to grow and open up a bit more and want to become an adventurer. She's basically Goblin Slayer's gate to adventuring. The priestess is the biggest reason why Goblin Slayer was able to open up. Her growth from her character of helping Goblin Slayer open up and grow and rely on people was honestly beautiful. She did a good job at that. Characters from Love is War. She's going in C. She's a good comedic character. Besides that, I think that's it. She's just a comedic character. I don't think they ever went that deep in depth with the character. Maybe B. She's a good funny character, but I feel like that's all she was just a funny character that they used as a gag at a lot of times. Shinomiya I think is a really well written character. Honestly, I think one of the better written female characters. The internal struggle she had before she finally admitted her love for the president, and then yeah, it was she grew she had great growth. All right, these are the K-On! Girls. I haven't seen that show, so we're gonna put them here. Kill la Kill. She was there. The friend was there. Now we have Rico and the sister. I think we have the two sisters here. Honestly, in terms of like character writing, they're B. They're up there. I don't remember. Their fights are amazing. Their designs are cool. They're them bonding over their mom being a really terrible person was cool. Uh, yeah, I think they're really good run of the mill characters. Honestly, for what they are. They're not S in terms of like the pinnacle of female writing, or A where like they're almost there and they're really good. God, she's in the same tier. Overbearing, kind of a bitch, doesn't grow out of it. If this is who I think it is, like the friend that still bullies her, even after everything, even after the dude ends up in the hospital and she worries and cries and feels like it's her fault, she still tries to bully her. She's overall a horrible person, and she still acts that way even after all of that, even after they grow out of it, dude. She's unbearable. She's great. Honestly, her going from someone who had very low self-esteem to learning to love herself thanks to the main protagonist who honestly had a huge impact on her having low self-esteem. He felt bad, and their relationship growing throughout the movie and them getting closer and becoming honestly good friends. And honestly, I think I want having crushes on each other was kind of cute. I like her. She's really well written. For what the story that they were trying to tell, she was great in her role. Comey, obviously, A. Really well written character. She's great for for the type of character she is. Gyaru Girl. I remember. I like them both. They're both in the same tier for me in terms of written. I don't remember her at all. It must not have gone really that far in the manga. So yeah. The three girls from Konosuba. Aqua, hilarious. Same tier as the friend of the president and Shinomiya. Darkness, honestly, a bit better written than than Aqua. Aqua is just written as the comedic relief and sort of the dumb person in the group. Darkness and Boom Girl, forgot her name. It was at the top of my head, and I forgot. Are both A tier. Really well written characters. These two have a closer relationship to Kazuma than she does. She does too, but these two have a stronger relationship with Kazuma. Um, and grow a bit more as characters too throughout the light novel at least. These are from Monogatari. I don't remember. I have seen some of these, but like, dude, I can't remember a lot of these. I do remember the Monogatari, but I don't remember like the character growth all that much. It's been a fucking minute, bro. It's been a minute since I've seen Monogatari. Maybe I should go back and rewatch the series in order. Uh, don't remember her. You know, is your quintessential yandere. The pinnacle of character writing here in terms of like Seven Deadly Sins. She's a strong character. The giant girl, not as strong as we have Elizabeth and Merlin. Elizabeth is in the same tier as Giant Girl, and I think Merlin is A tier. Merlin was, I think, better written than those two. Merlin had more depth to her, than Elizabeth and Giant Girl. But they're not bad characters. They're really good characters for what they are. That's why they're in B. Now we're into Naruto. Holy crap! All right. Jesus, bro. Uh, Honestly, D, bro. She's not. She appears in a couple episodes and disappears. Hinata. Honestly, seeing her from going from a very meek and really well written character, for what Kubo was trying to write with Hinata, she was written well. You could have written her better. Don't get me wrong, but her growth from being very like shy to just outright proclaiming her love for Naruto and being more outspoken and like that is great. Honestly, seeing her grow closer to Naruto was really great. Dude, better than this chick, but was just as irrelevant, honestly. Is a C tier, bro. We covered her a bit, but she didn't grow much, bro. She grew a little bit. Kurenai was great, but again, disappeared. Mizukage, bland character, dude. Sakura grew a little bit more, so I'll put her in B. She did have more growth. She did grow as a character, but her potential wasn't maximized, and I think that's one of Kishimoto's biggest weaknesses, man. He could have went more deep in Sakura and did a lot more with her. Naruto's mom was a great character too, but she was just there to be his mom. She's written well, I guess. No character growth. Just being his mom and teaching him stuff. That's it. Going in B. Just because he's the main protagonist, mom will put her there. Tamari, honestly, I think is one of the better written characters. She's an A in Naruto, and she's an A in Naruto up there with Hinata and Hinata. Her growth from being very, how do I say this, brash and arrogant to being a little bit more humble and willing to work with others, and being more sensitive, I guess, more vulnerable. We'll say vulnerable over sensitive. Being more vulnerable, and her relationship with Shikamaru was great, honestly. Tsunade in the same goddamn tier as her student. Could have been much better written. To be fair, dropped the ball. These two are better written than Tsunade and Sakura, and that's a goddamn shame. You'd think that they'd be better. Heck, I think Tsunade's a little bit better written than Sakura, because her relationship with Kirby Sage and her growth there a little bit. Nah, we'll keep her in B. Above her student. Above her student. Okay. We have the girls from Nisekoi. It's been a while, man. All three of these girls, I like. To be fair, I think they're all. Onodera was. Onodera, I think her name was. Her. Going top of B. She could have been written. She was written well, but could have been a lot more. Same with her. Shitose, I think, had the strongest writing out of the three. I think it's because I think the author was trying to lean more into her throughout the whole story, and her growth and her going from reluctantly wanting to marrying Raku, I think his name is, to basically loving the guy is pretty good, honestly. We have the characters from No Game No Life. She's hilarious, so we'll give her B. The princess. Jibril or Jabral, something like that. She's in the same character place as the princess. This girl was there. They didn't dive deep enough into the anime for her. Sora. Both of these are the same character, to be fair. Not Sora. The sister. I think she's above them too, but I think character writing wise, I think these two were a bit written a bit more in depth. Alright, this is going to be. Did I put them? Oh no, I meant to put these. Fucking see. Okay, there we go. I see. They're funny characters, but they didn't go that much in depth into the princess. And I think Jibril. And the sister, she's a little bit better written than those two in No Game No Life. So yeah. Bishamon and the main female protagonist are both A tiers. They're both really well written in terms of Bishamon goes from this very aggressive woman who hates Yato to, I guess, a reluctant ally is honestly really good. And the girl's relationship with Yato was great. She basically humanized Yato, made him change for the better. Both really solid A tier characters, honestly. To the series, Noragami wouldn't have been the same without these two. These two helped make Noragami. He's good. He didn't appear much though in the series. She's a straight up C tier. She explains some things here or there, but yeah. Boa Hancock, bro. Honestly, bro. Goddamn Pinnacle. Written really well for what she is. You'd think she'd grow. She doesn't, but I think what her character growth is that she does become a little bit kinder to her subjects thanks to Luffy, but she's still that arrogant princess that we all love. Nami and Robin. I think Robin, in terms of writing, is an S tier. Has more depth to her character than Nami. Nami's written really well. I like Nami. Quintessential, tough character. But Robin, her backstory and her like whole life and how she goes from this very untrusting person to a person who loves her friends more than anything is honestly beautiful. Um, okay, we're getting there pretty quickly. Fubuki, and Tatsumaki, bro. They both have growth in the manga. They both grow. Fubuki becomes a bit more confident in herself, right? And Tatsumaki, in the series, thanks to um like they grow closer, like they settle their differences as sisters in the manga. They become more friendly with each other. Fubiki becomes more confident and less arrogant, and Tatsumaki learns to be more open with her feelings and becomes a little better as a sister to Fubiki. It's honestly really good, if I'm remembering the arc correctly. We have the two girls from God, I forgot the name of the anime. The main love interest. Are they the same person? He ends up with this girl, if I remember correctly. It's thanks to this girl that he's able to save this girl. Um, she does grow, right, in the series, and despite they're both B tier characters. Um, they both have very important roles in the story. I don't remember. She doesn't grow at all. This girl, she's just basically the protagonist's driving force into fixing the horrible shit that has happened to him and almost being murdered and saving her. You think he'd end up with her, but no, she ends up marrying a different dude and having kids with him because the protagonist was in a coma. Now we have the characters from Snafu. Honestly, I like them all. Hold up. Kohai, B, strong character. She was a love interest at some point, but didn't. Uh, the teacher is in the same role. I think she has a big impact in helping Hachiman or Hachi, what do we want to call him, grow out of his thing by introducing him to our girls here, our girl here, and then these two are both instrumental in him becoming more confident and less prone to uh self-deprecate himself. Because like the whole series, they made a huge point of like why does he self-deprecate himself despite having good intentions and stuff. I love Snafu. It's been a while. Yeah, both really well written female characters here. It's a shame she had to lose. It's a shame, but the heroine in these series, a heroine always has to lose, dude. You can't have two. Sadly. All right, let's keep going. Albedo and Shalltear, bro. They're good. They're good generals. They're good standard B fare. I don't remember them growing all that much. It's been a while since I've watched Overlord. So for what we have, they're pretty middle of the pack. Three of the Pokemon girls, Jessie, May, and Misty. Hold on, let's move them up here. Jessie, honestly, considering where in some of the episodes she ends up with, she's a really well written character for Jessie. Uh, I'd say she's a top of A tier, really written really well. Um, the stories where she cleans up her act and becomes like I think a nurse or ends up helping people is really good. She basically stops being a grunt for Team Rocket. Misty and May, they're C tier. I don't think they have much of a character, to be fair. Misty stays a gym leader, water type. May becomes the Pokemon like contest girl. She becomes a Pokemon contest girl. Uh, hmm. Misty does grow to be. They're both B. I'm gonna give them B. To be fair, they both end up. They're both solid. Don't remember. Don't haven't seen the series, so we can put them on the same tier. We have these girls from ReZero. Right, ReZero. I think it's ReZero. She she ends up growing into someone who's a tsundere and ends up helping the protagonist a lot. She's great, really well written character. Emilia, I wouldn't say she's the pinnacle of writing, but she's up there in S. I mean, not in S and A. Rem and Ram. Rem and Ram. They were the focus of the story at some point, and then they sort of they're there, but I'm trying to remember how big of an impact. They're really solid though. I put Rem in above Ram because I think Ram had more focus on her character than Ram did. And then her, got her. Wait a second. This is the girl from like the first episode, the thing. Oh damn! I'm gonna put her in C. I don't remember. Well, I don't think she was beyond that first episode, right? What do we have here? I've seen this series, but I don't remember much about these two girls. I have to rewatch that series. I saw it once in high school. I know the series. It's like Pet something, Pet Kanojo, I think. Pet Kanojo. It's I gotta go rewatch that one. Uh, all Sword Art Online characters: Asuna, Sinon, and the girl. Okay, I believe in terms of like writing for their series, Asuna is the peak S tier writing. She's great. Sinon is A. She was written to replace Asuna in season 2. Um, to take her place for Inichigo's side. The sister, the friend, the blacksmith girl, and the younger other sister, I guess, are all C tier, bro. Like they're there, but they no longer have that big of an impact, bro. You can argue the sister has a bit more impact in the second half of season 1, so we'll put her. She goes from being a Brocon to, I guess, still kind of being a Brocon, but not as hard. I don't know. She's no longer a Brocon. These two, these two don't appear. These two barely appear. When they do, they're not focused on very heavily. Asuna, really well written character. For similar reasons as Rias. Yeah. Shinon too. Considering her, what happened to her, really well written character, strong. Oh, we have the Alice and this girl. I'm also gonna put them in C. They're good characters and were good for the plot, but beyond that they don't go beyond that. Is essentially Senko. Okay, I'm gonna rank Senko because she's not. There's not much of a character here, like character growth. She's just a stagnant. Senko's a great character though. Great female character. I love Senko. She's cute. Very doting. Before anybody says I'm weird, this is Immortal Fox Lady. She's basically super old. Alright, we have Princess Historia, Mikasa, Sasha. Honestly, all of these should go. All of these should go up. Hold up. Up here. Hold up. Okay. Sasha and Historia are gonna stay in A. Mikasa's going to S. Mikasa's more has more of the writing tied to her and her relationship with Eren. Historia is good, but they don't focus on her that much, so we're gonna put Historia on B. And Sasha was such a well-written character that she was so loved by the community that when she died, people lost their shit. So we were keeping her in A. So yeah, these are the characters from that one series. Dude, it's been a while since I've seen. I know this series. I haven't seen it in a while, so we're gonna put them in. To haven't seen, don't know, because I don't know how to rank them without being fair. Okay. We're gonna now rank the angels from the one series. We have this one and this one from like I think they're solid B tiers. These two angels for the series. Um, I've seen this series. They're solid B. They're hilarious. They're adorable. Really well designed. Their characters pretty much boil down to growing more human. They're basically angels that don't know anything about humanity, and they're pretty robotic. They're robotic angels, and yeah, their whole character literally boils down to the protagonist teaching them how to be human, and uh, both of them slowly learning what love is and human emotion. These two, yes, bro. Yes, bro. Both of these two girls moved for the first half of the season. Helped move the main protagonist. Second half, right here. Both really well written, strong female characters that are perfect supporting cast for the male protagonists of the series. Uh, she's from. Okay, I forgot the name. I know her. She's great. She's I think she becomes a mother to his children at some point. Well written character. I'd say she's an B. Honestly, from what I remember her, she's a solid B. I don't want this recording to go on longer, so I'm just ranking them quickly. Not much of an explanation, but yeah. Uh, B tier character writing. For her. God, bro, these two I'm not touching, bro. I do not like what they did here with this Hagenai. It was weird, man. Um, and I'm not touching him not because of like how it ends up. It's just like the series took a turn that I never expected it to. Ah, let's go with that. These characters here from Toradora, kind of a bitch. She becomes less of a bitch, but she's a C tier character. Uh, her B. She eventually she's kind of she grows like she eventually realizes her feelings for the male protagonist, but it's too late because by that point he already let go of her. Because she was chasing the protagonist's friend, and she was chasing the protagonist's friend like her, I think, and he let go of her for our girl here. Honestly, she's really well written in terms of like a female lead. Toradora was a great story, great romance story. If you like a good romance stories that are really well written, Toradora is for you. Solid series. Um, I haven't seen these in a while. I don't know her. Okay. There you go. This is my rankings. God damn it! This took a bit. This took a bit, but yeah, this is my rankings. Yep, A tier. Here's the S tiers. CC all the way to the girl from Toradora. Solid writing here. These are really good writing, but just less the in terms of they're here because I can't have that many in S tier. So I use my biases in terms of favoritism to bump these ones. These ones are my super favorites. These ones are up there, but they're not my favorite favorites. Then we have B, as you can see, solid characters for what they are. C, bland. They're there. They have some character, but not much. She has character, but she's here for different reasons than these three. These three here are here because they are there and gone in the series, never appear. Soy Phone would have been C, but her obsession with Yoruichi dropped me to D. These two are awful people, awful persons. They don't grow at all. Not touching these three. This one because it's pretty dark. These two. If you guys are familiar with Hagenai's ending, you probably know why I'm not touching it because it's like I don't even know how to rank them. I wouldn't even know how to rank them. So yeah, yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry that took a lot longer than I wanted to. So yeah, that's my ranking. That's my tier list for best best female characters. I guess we'll go with that. Tier list for best female characters in anime. There you guys have it. That's my tier list. You can always go back and pause the video to see what I have in each tier and see if it corresponds with you. But yeah, there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna stop the recording here because I'm a bit tired. And you know what we say? Adios.